Hello, my Rock World followers and fans of Marty's Rockhouse. I'm here in Munich and I'm very happy to be here with one of the most unique voices in rock music, Mike Tramp. You all know him also from White Line, Freak of Nature, and now he's massively touring with the Band of Brothers. Welcome to Munich.
Dankeschön.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Mike, last time I met you in Augsburg, we have talked a lot about the history from yourself and White Line. I would like to focus on your fantastic new album, Stray from the Flock.
Yes.
Because I really like it very much. Let's talk.
That's a good start.
Let's talk a little bit about this new album. First, regarding the title, Stray from the Flock.
The interesting thing, not interesting, but you could actually call my first solo album Stray from the Flock, because it's really a statement that I actually already took on the Capricorn solo album in 1997, that here were the 80s and the 90s, and now I'm going somewhere else. I'm leaving the flock, I'm leaving all that I was part of. It just took number 12 before I put the title up.
It's okay.
And it's just really that, and I say it on stage every night. I might not say it tonight, but White Lion is on the shelf with the 4 album. Freak of Nature is over here with the 3 albums. My solo career is from when I start by myself, and it represents me as a songwriter, as a producer, as the artist. And even, of course, people will hear similarities because I also wrote the songs in the 2 other bands. This is the place that I explore my music within, my world.
And it's a fantastic record. What is your strategy in writing songs, and do you have any favorite song on this record also? Because it's such an easy listening rock record.
I think sometimes, because most rock fans know me from White Line in the 80s, so nobody ever thinks that I actually already started, playing music and writing music in the 70s. And when my mom bought my first acoustic guitar when I was 8 years old, and my house was full of Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, that is the foundation of Mike Tramp. Okay, Mike Tramp wasn't raised on Aerosmith and things like that. My songwriting comes from a background of folk. So I want my solo albums to sound like me. It is 100%. I'm not trying to be anything but me. And when I write an album, it usually always will start with the first song on the album. And I was talking to somebody earlier today that every first song on all my solo albums have been the first song that I wrote for that album. And that starts the whole movement of what mood I'm in, where am I in my life, and all that kind of stuff. So with White Line in the 80s, we had a record contract that said we needed to deliver a new album next year. So we're kind of on contract. I decide when I'm ready to write a new album, and I only write it when it feels right. I don't sit down and says, I have to be finished with 10 new songs coming first.
Where do you take your ideas? Do you write songs everywhere in each place?
No, I always.
Do you sit down?
I write the songs at home.
At home, okay.
And I don't sit down to write. It comes automatically. Like if I open the guitar case and take the guitar out, I don't start playing one of my old songs. The second I start doing something on the guitar, it instantly hooked me, or it doesn't.
Okay.
And if there's one little idea, I will just follow that idea, and half an hour later go, oh, you just written the song. Then eventually, once I decided to work on that song, I will go to the lyrics, and then the mood or the thoughts or ideas will come to me.
So you record your demos at home, or and then go into the studio then? Or?
When I go into the studio, my demos is a complete album. It sounds almost 100% like a record.
I noticed it's like me. Okay, perfect. So do you have any favorite song on this?
Well, yeah, there are favorites in many ways. I mean, because we start the album off with an epic of 9 minutes, a massive rock song.
My favorite is the second
The
one.
single Dead and Right is what you would say.
Yeah.
That is a classic Mike Tramp song.
Catchy.
Exactly.
It could have been from White Lion also.
and so
Yeah.
there are some very heavy subjects, lyrical wise, on the album and stuff like that. So everything has, it's almost like 10 chapters
Okay.
of the journey of where I am at that moment. And when the Maybe Tomorrow albums, this was where I was 2 years prior to that.
Is there any difference in the music style, or
No, there's no difference in the music. No, because I want the listener and the fans that when they reach for my Tramp and their album collection, they reach for something they know how it's gonna sound. They don't go, I wonder if this sounds like Accept. Okay, so if I reach into the refrigerator and say I want a glass of orange juice, I'm not gonna bring the bottle of Coca-Cola out. And that's all I want to be. I just want to be that when people feel like listening to this kind, that what I do.
Yeah, and it's an awesome record.
And so I'm not interested in going somewhere else.
It's
I've
great.
already
It's
arrived.
Absolutely authentic stuff. It's absolutely amazing. I really like it. So what can we expect tonight from the set list? And another question also, since this is a really long tour now, do you record any live shows for maybe a live album to be released from the band?
Nah.
No?
No. I'm not worrying about live stuff right now, Ray. I mean, that's a whole different thing.
Because you have released so many solo records, it's time for a live album. I'm sorry.
It is. Well, the live show is, I don't know if you have this thing in Germany, but it's like sometimes at the end of the week, you have all the leftovers in the refrigerator, and then you take everything out and you mix it together on Saturday, and that's what you eat. So the live show is, of course, a combination of a lot of different songs, different albums, and including, White Lion songs and things like that, all mixed together.
Could you imagine to one day not include any White Lion
Oh
songs?
yeah, I could very easily imagine that. And it will happen.
It will happen? When?
Well, it will happen soon because it's sort of more that I would like to separate the two things. And I would also give people an exclusive White Lion thing, so it's just...
I think it would be a great idea. Awesome. Okay, then I have some general questions. What are your heroes starting out to play music? I've heard, I think, Bob Dylan or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that.
Roy Orbison.
Yeah, but that's what my mom was playing when we would wake up in the morning instead of the alarm clock, when my father was told to go. So I grew up with that sound. This is also the late 60s as the big folk movement coming from America, coming from England, and also in Denmark. A lot of that. So it was natural for me to just, playing and sitting and enjoying that. Of course, once we got into the early 70s and I was still just a young kid, of course I was a big fan of Slade and Sweet, Queen, Thin Lizzy, Rainbow, and became a massive rock fan, AC/DC, Van Halen, stuff like that. But the folk has always been a companion that has gone with me. And when I started writing the songs with Vito for White Lion in '83 and onward, I would sit with the acoustic guitar and he would sit with the Stratocaster and we would write there, and the song would always work in that format. So we wouldn't need the song to be final recorded to know it was a great song. We wanted the song sort of to be like what we had heard, like Lennon, McCartney. They were writing a song. You play with an acoustic guitar, and if the song worked there, it'll work with the big band too.
So another one, that's a tricky one. If you could travel back in time to your 21-year-old
Oh
yourself,
boy, that's a terrible day.
Which advice would you give yourself?
Yeah. because like we all know, looking back, we have the answer to all the things we have done wrong. So if we went back to great,
Would you change anything?
yeah,
Or give some advice maybe in case of music business or
yeah, you know what? The advice is, don't be in a rush. Let it happen naturally.
That's a cool advice, yeah.
But it's because I'm here today,
Yeah.
wiser. I know I was like, I maybe had a rocket up my ass and wanted things to happen quicker. And I actually thought I was further ahead than I was.
Yeah, but that's a good advice. Take your time if you're doing this, and I know this from myself.
It's just the way it is.
Okay, so another one. Do you have any turbo secrets that you can share with us? Something that no one knows, and you're not.
Well,
getting
it's
from
not
anyone?
necessarily so much a secret that I think that it is very important to understand that when you travel that much and you go in and out of hotel rooms every day and
Okay.
every night there's a different pillow,
Oh,
which basically will give you a different night of kind of sleep every night. The secret is bring your own pillow.
that's a cool advice. That's great. That's awesome. Okay, Mike, at least the last one. Some words to the fans, please.
Well, Vito told me at the last day we were recording the main attraction album. We were sitting in the kitchen, and I tell that little story at the end of the show too. He said to me, he said, have you ever thought that without the fans, we would basically just be staying at home? They buy a record, they buy the concert ticket, they buy the t-shirt. And he said, we need to show them how grateful we are. And that day we sat in the kitchen of the studio and wrote Farewell to You.
That's great. That's awesome. Will you?
So
are you
without you, the fans, basically, I'd just be staying at home. So I am grateful for forever for the support, and especially the gift now of traveling through life together with the fans.
One more thing. Do you listen to the vinyls or to the CDs when you are at home?
I listen to the CDs. It's
Oh,
easy.
really? Really?
I have a massive vinyl collection, and I'm waiting for the day when I will finally build my vinyl room, and it will be a place I will go in 1 hour every day, and nobody can disturb me. There's no phones or anything like that. And I will mix a double gin and tonic, and I will listen to a classic rock album. This is how I'm going to retire.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, Mike, thank you very much for this awesome interview.